Do you know what a FOD walk is? FOD stands for foreign object debris. A FOD walk is basically when everybody lines up at one end of the FOD walk and walks the whole flight line, picking up trash or foreign object debris. This is important because accomplishing a FOD walk can, or not accomplishing a FOD walk can cause plane crashes. I'm Delanie Smith, a student here at University of Arkansas in Little Rock. Today I'm going to tell you about my service learning at the air show. First I will tell you about the air show, and then I will tell you about how my communication principle and 2 communication concepts connected to my service learning. And lastly, about how I can use my ethical implications and communication concept to improve my community. Now I'll tell you about my service learning. Okay, so I did my service learning at Little Rock Air Force Base at the air show, and I was tasked to pick up trash. Yeah, I was kind of mad at first, but whatever. And so basically I had to pick up trash off the ground and put it in the trash cans, empty the trash cans, refill the bag, put the trash at the little trash rally points or whatever. And then at the beginning and end of the days, I had to complete photo ops. The mission of my organization, according to the Air Force, is to fly, fight, and win. And my service learning helped support the organization's mission, because in order for the planes to fly or fight or win, you have to pick up trash in order to successfully get into the air. So yeah. Next I will talk about my communication principle and 2 communication concepts that connected to my experience. This is important because it shows how the smallest conversations can turn into big issues based off of people's perceptions of what someone did. So this is a couple pictures from the air show. The first one closest towards me is me with a big C-5 aircraft. And the other one is a picture of me and one of my coworkers inside of another aircraft. I don't remember what that one was. My first communication principle is communication involves both verbal and nonverbal messages. The definition, according to the U.S. Survival Guide, is all behavior has symbolic potential that includes the words we speak as well as our vocal and non-vocal communications. And the example I had from that was when the girl in the picture, like when we first got there, because it was like super early in the morning, we had to be there like 5:30. And so she's not a morning person, so she came in there or whatever, she was like this, and she had a little coffee cup, she was like this. She looked like she didn't want to be there. And everybody thought she had an attitude, but at the end of the day, the lieutenant had came up to us and he was complimenting her on how her attitude had changed. And we were looking at each other like, what is he talking about? And then he had told her, you know, she had her arms crossed or whatever, and she was like, I didn't have an attitude, I was just tired. And so, yeah, that pertains to my communication principle, because she didn't have an attitude, but he thought she did. Yeah. So my first communication concept was listening fidelity. And according to Adler, Rodman, and Dupree 2017, the definition is the degree of congruence between what a listener understands and what the messenger was attempting to communicate. My example from my service learning was when that same LT was giving me and my group instructions on which section of the flight line was our section and where our rally points were. I basically reiterated exactly what he said back to him, but in my own words. So yeah, that explains that, because I basically told him what he said, but in my own words. Yeah. My second communication concept was ambushing, and according to Adler, Rodman, and Dupree 2017, the definition is a style in which the receiver listens carefully to gather information to use in an attack on the speaker. And my example was when, so we have this new airman, he was like his 8th day maybe. And so he didn't really know anything. He didn't know any better. He was like 18, fresh out of high school. And so he had said something to her, and she literally said what he said and took it back and like attacked him and was like, why didn't you do that? We've been there 4 times, this, that, and the third. And she was basically like cussing him out, and I was like, chill out, you know, like he's like a baby. It's okay, chill out. But that illustrates that concept, because she literally took what he said and threw it in his face. Next, I'm going to tell you about how my service experience, or how I can use my communication concept and ethical implication to improve my communication to help my community. This is important because communicating effectively and efficiently can make or break a conversation between a group of people. The communication concept I chose was feedback, and the definition, according to Adler, Rodman, and Dupree 2017, is the discerning response of a receiver to a sender's message. And I chose this concept because when she, blew up on the new guy, and I never gave her feedback, and I outranked her or whatever, so it's like my responsibility to go and, correct her, and I didn't do that, and I let her do it in front of everybody, and all I said was shut up. So, yeah, and, so basically that's why I chose feedback. And the ethical implication I chose was responsibility, and according to the Survival Guide 2018, the definition is holding ourselves accountable for the choices, actions, and communication with others. And I chose that because whenever she blew up on him and whatnot, I didn't take responsibility, give her the proper feedback she needed, or even, stop the situation. I just kind of let it happen. And that can improve my community because that probably it made him feel less than. And so I kind of felt bad after, so I apologized to him. But I should have took responsibility for that from the jump and not let that situation escalate that far. Finally, today I told you about my service learning at the air show. First I told you about my service learning, and then I told you how my communication principle and 2 communication concepts connected to my service learning, and lastly I told you guys how I can improve my community with my communication concept and ethical implication. Don't forget, photo ops can prevent terrible plane crashes, even death, simply by picking up an earring.